And I don't have a couch here in terms of helping me with my form on the deadlift.
Well, that's fine because you're not supposed to be doing it so hard. Just make sure you're trying to push into it a little bit with your heels.
Right.
That's about it. You want to do that naturally anyways. You don't need the couch, but it's just a reminder. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I know.
Get your back set, elbows in, turn them in. So you set your lats. So you just rotate your whole arm.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Good. All right, so you drive up, push your knees back. Like that. Yep. Push your knees back. And leave them back there when you're going down. So you're pushing your butt back. You're not, there you go, like that, right there. See that difference? When you keep your knees there, you're stretching your hamstring, which is what you want. Can you hear me right now?
What's that?
You can hear me. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Before you weren't hearing me. I was trying to talk to you, but I had to re-enter.
Gotcha.
As if I get a call or something, like FaceTimes or whatever, it stops the actual communication for some reason or other.
Oh, gotcha. Right.
And my mom called me.
Oh, all right. Tu madre.
Yeah, tu madre. Well, usually you wouldn't say tu madre because that's usually telling you, you're telling the person off in Spanish. You're telling the person
Yeah, like in
tu
English.
madre.
Oh, mama. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
I was
Okay,
more just
I'm just
acknowledging.
laughing.
Oh, your mother called.
The way you're saying it is funny because that would you'll be innocent in it. One of those innocently tu madre, and they go, what?
Right. Well, thank you. That was glad I learned that, so I don't make that mistake again. Okay.
Good. I will move my knees back a little bit more, so that way the bar is not so much in the way of it. To get them out of the way of the bar. Once you pass the knees, let the bar go straight down a little bit. So once you pass the knees, and then stretch out your arms. That's right. That way you can stretch your lats. Sending you this one right now. That way you already have it, but I'm going to try to find the other ones now.
Thank you.
This, the one you're looking for is Saturday, right?
Yes. All right, let me get going here.
Send you today's and yesterday's.
Thanks.
Good, come on. You alive?
Yeah. So I think you were kind of saying with the, with the pull, that I should kind of do that at a normal speed, like not as fast as I can go, but pretty good speed. And then the down is when I'm
Make sure you're lowering, resisting it.
lowering.
The problem is that we're trying to avoid is, look, if we're, let's say, remember this is a band, and a band, you stretch it, it has
Yeah.
resistance as you're stretching it, and then
Right.
you resist back. With weights and even with bands, if you just drop back, especially with bands, you could drop back faster than the actual resisting you're resisting.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you just drop, you're not even holding tension. So you're not doing constant tension anymore. So that's what we want to have. You have to resist on the way back, because if not, you're not actually doing constant tension.
Right.
You imagine you could drop this back really fast, and
Right.
basically you didn't resist anything. The muscle's off. It's like resting, and then you do
Right.
it again, right? So
Right.
you want to make sure you're resisting this back. And since
Right.
it's a band that lowers the tension as you resist, you have to actually go slower than with a weight, because
Oh.
you have to resist that you're actually actively resisting. Same way as with squats, you'll see people really rush it on the way up, which is fine because you're squeezing it to go up. But
Yeah.
then on the way back down, you got to make sure you're resisting that, because you could just drop down and basically not do nothing
Right.
with the muscle
Gotcha.
and then push up again. So you got to be one way you're pushing, one way you're resisting. So if you're doing this, you got to make sure that when you go back down, you are actively squeezing it,
Right.
resisting it back down,
Right.
right?
Right. Okay.
The easiest way to actually do that is if you actually, because I've shown it before, how to do, if you had somebody helping you, that they were actually pushing it back down, so you had to resist it harder.
Gotcha.
So you tie a strap and you pull down with your hand, with your leg, and all of a sudden that makes the way down harder. Now you're having to resist that. You see how I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you want to be able to do in every move how to resist that way back down. So you're actively actually staying under tension and
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
letting go of the tension. All right.
Right. Right.
In every
Okay.
kind of move you're doing.
Gotcha. Okay.
How was that?
I couldn't do as many today because I hurt myself a little bit dancing last night.
Yeah.
But so I didn't go as far as I normally go. I think you said last time when I get tired to hold it for like 5 seconds
And
when
then
I'm
do
tired.
another three, and then try to hold it for 5 seconds, and then do another three. You also want to start like if you have the risers. Do you have the risers?
Not yet. The heel risers.
Yeah. You put them underneath it. You put underneath the board, and then do it with your toes so that you could stretch your heel back down more.
Oh,
So it's the
gotcha.
same as doing it sitting down. Okay, so when you sit down, right? If you go there and sit down for a moment, sit down on that chair
Yeah.
behind you, and point the camera down so I could see your feet. Right? Turn sideways a little bit. Now, instead of you see the angle of your feet right there.
Yeah.
Now push your feet forward. That they were 90 degrees. No, but take off to push that out of the way so I could show you something. If you do the calf raises like that, now do calf raises, right? And you go back
Oh,
down, go back down. You're not getting much out of it because that's how you're getting it for standing up. Now bring your feet back closer to you, right? More,
uh-huh.
a little bit more. Now do a calf raise
Oh yeah.
and
I can
stretch
go
your heels
more.
all the way back down. Stretch your heels all the way back down. It's the back down part that's important. You see how now you're stretching your heels more? Your calf is
Yeah.
stretched more because the ankle now is closer back this way. So when you use
Yeah.
a heel riser and you put it the other way, when you come back down, you will be at an angle that pushing your heels back down. That's why the calf raise is sitting down works so well because you see the angle against your knees. Now it's closer in. It's forcing your calf to stretch more in the bottom position. If you
Gotcha.
have a heel riser in front of you, like now stand on the board, but just with your toes on the board and get off. Yeah, right there. Now go all the way up and push your heels all the way down to where they touch the floor. You see that? But
Yeah.
you wanna actually have it a little bit higher, so you're forcing your heel to come down more, and you're doing the
Gotcha.
same thing as sitting down. Basically, you're doing the same thing as sitting down on the floor
Gotcha. So
because
you want
you're
the heel
forcing.
risers?
Exactly. The heel. Well, what you do is just put them underneath the foot plate, so the foot plate's at an angle, and then
Oh,
you be more comfortable, and you do the calf raise, and you'll be able to stretch the calves more back down, and that hurts you
gotcha.
more.
So what you're saying is put the heel raisers here.
The other way, in front, on the front
Oh, in
side,
front.
like
Ah,
that, so that your toes will be in the front section, right, and you stretch your heel back down to the plate at an angle.
okay.
All right. The opposite of what you do with front squat. With front squat, you put them underneath your heel because you're
Uh-huh.
trying to elevate your heel. In this one, you're putting it underneath the toes because you're trying to stretch the calf back down when you come back down. You understand?
Gotcha. Okay. Good. Calf raisers. All right, I'll get those.
Because you could do the calf raises also sitting down. If you do it sitting down, what I'm telling you is you can't have your feet be 90 degrees to your knee because then you're not doing anything with it. You got to make
Right.
sure the knee's a little bit behind the knee so that you're forcing the stretch in your calf. That's what
Right.
makes a force the stretch in the calf.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But you're saying I could do it sitting down. Is there value to doing it sitting
You
down, or is that just
It
an
depends. There's a
example?
lot of value to doing it standing up.
Okay,
There's a
that's what
lot
I
of
was
value
saying.
standing up because now you're holding. It's almost like doing an extended farmer's walk and a hold, and that's really good for you.
Right, because you're using more of
Yeah, you're
your
using more of everything,
right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
especially right
Okay.
now that you're not really doing heavy bang. Right? Even though it might feel like it's heavy to you, your body doesn't feel it. And your body really is not taking a toll on it. It isn't
Gotcha.
because your body, even though you're not trained yet, knows that it's just a matter of training. But your body could handle that much weight, right? Your
Right.
actual skeletal system. Now,
Right.
if you were putting the elite band on there, you're doing a lot of toll on your body, even if you're trained, because the amount of tension now is much more dramatically different,
Right.
right?
That makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, senor. See you tomorrow or when you're coming on again.
Do you have any time Saturday? Like,
Yeah, we could do Saturday. Probably up. Do we have a 10 o'clock one, or it all depends on what one that I train. Alice tells me It depends. So there'll be a 10, 1. Just write to me around what time you're looking for.
Okay, 10 o'clock sounds great for Saturday.
Okay.
10 o'clock Pacific, so 1 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
10 o'clock Pacific. Thank you.
All right, senor. Okay. Bye.
Bye.